Myself, Dr. Tushar, tutor, Department of PSM, GMC Bettiya. Today we will discuss about the epidemiology and epidemiological methods. Let's start with the definition of epidemiology. Epidemiology is the study of distribution, determinant, date and events, and application of this study to control health related problems in a community. Now the start with the learning objective. After the session, student will able to describe the various epidemiological method available to establish the disease etiology, elaborate the steps of descriptive study, formulate a good hypothesis, discuss the use of descriptive study. Now the type of epidemiological studies. Epidemiological method is divided into two groups, that is the observational study and experimental study. Now the observational study is further divided into two groups. This is the descriptive study and analytical study. Descriptive study is of the two types. One is the cross sectional study and other is longitudinal study. Now the analytical study. Analytical study of the two type, case control and cohort. Experimental study is of the two type, randomized control trial, field trial and community trial. Now the observational study. Observational, as it has been discussed earlier, that it is of the two type, descriptive study and analytical study. Analytical study is of ecological study, cross sectional study or study of the prevalence, case control study or case reference study, cohort study. Now the descriptive study can be defined as one in which only one group of the subject is studied without any comparison group. It describes the outcome in the terms of frequency and its distribution according to the selected variable related to the person, place or time. It helps to formulate the tentative hypothesis about the possible role of the certain factor in the outcome of interest. The role cannot be confirmed due to the absence of any comparison group. It is the first phase in any epidemiological investigation. It answers the three basic questions. When the disease is occurring, that is, it define about the time distribution. Where it is occurring, it define about the place distribution. Who is getting the disease, it define about the person distribution. Now the objective of the descriptive study. It finds out the incidence and prevalence of any disease or health related event, describe the natural history of the disease, describe the distribution of the disease according to the variable related to the time, place or person, formulate hypothesis about the cause and effect relationship which can be further tested by the analytical studies. Now the steps followed in the descriptive study. First, it has the six step. The first step include the defining the population to be studied, defining. Now the second step is defining the disease under study. Now the third step is describing the disease in term of time, place and person. Fourth step is the measurement of disease. Fifth step is comparing with the known indices. Now the sixth step is formulation of etiological hypothesis. Now the first step, defining the population to be studied. The unit of studies in the descriptive study is the population and not the individual. The study population must be defined in terms of age, gender, occupation, occupational characteristic. The population should be stable. There should be clear instruction on whom to include. This step is important as it gives denominator for calculation of rates. Defining the disease under study. Precise and valid definition on whom to consider a case is very important. Operational definition is must for epidemiological investigation. Operational definition should be such that it can be identify and measure a disease in a population with accuracy. The case definition of interstitial lung infection includes the acute respiratory infection with a fever of greater than 100 degree Fahrenheit and cough with onset within the 10th day. The case definition of subacute respiratory infection: the acute respiratory infection with history of fever greater than 100 degree Fahrenheit and cough with onset within the last 10 days and require the hospitalization. Now the describing disease in terms of time, place and person. Time distribution include when the disease is occurring. Place distribution where the disease is occurring, and the person distribution include who is getting the disease. Now the time distribution. Time distribution include year, session, month, week, day, hour of onset and duration of the disease. Place distribution include climatic zone, country, region, urban or rural population involving the disease, local community, town, city and institution. The person distribution is related with the age, sex, marital status, occupation, social status, education, birth order, family size, height, weight, blood pressure, blood cholesterol, personal habits. Now the time distribution. Time distribution has the pattern of the disease may be described by the time of its occurrence, by the week, month, year, or the day of the week or hour of onset. Epidemiologists have identified the three kinds of time trend and fluctuation in the disease occurrence, which include the short-term fluctuation, periodic fluctuation, and long-term fluctuation. Short-term fluctuation best known by the occurrence of an disease is an epidemic. The epidemic may be defined by the occurrence of disease in a community or region clearly in excess of the normal expectancy. The common source. Now the epidemic is further divided into the three types: the common source epidemic, propagated epidemic, and slow or modern epidemic. The common source epidemic is further divided into two: single exposure or point source epidemic, continuous or multiple exposure epidemic. Or the second type of epidemic is propagated epidemic. The propagated epidemic is of the three types: person to person, arthropod, vector and animal reservoir. Slow epidemic or modern epidemic. Now the example of the short term. Now the example of the common source epidemic with or point source epidemic is epidemic of the food poisoning, Bhopal gas tragedy in India, Minamata disease in Japan. Minamata disease in Japan is due to the consumption of the fish containing high concentration of the methyl mercury. Now the example of the multiple exposure or repeated exposure epidemic, a well contaminated with the water, and nationally distributed brand of vaccine, that is the vaccine. Now the place distribution of the disease is defined by the international variation, national variation, rural urban variation and local distribution. The person distribution is defined by the population may be defined in the term of any of its socio-demographic characteristics: age or gender, ethnicity, marital status or occupation, social class, behavior or migration. Now the fourth step includes the measurement of the disease. Measurement of disease is evaluated by the mortality, morbidity and disability. The incidence is measured by the longitudinal study, while the prevalence is measured by the cross-sectional study. Now the fifth stage in the descriptive epidemiology is comparing with the known indices. The essence of the epidemiology is to make the comparisons and ask the questions. These comparisons can be done between the different population and subgroup of the same population. This helps to arrive at a clue regarding the disease etiology or to identify the group at increased risk. Now the use of the distrib- descriptive epidemiology. It's provide data regarding the magnitude of the disease load, provide clue to the disease etiology, and help in the formulation of etiological hypothesis. Provide background data for the planning, organizing, and evaluating the preventive and curative service. Now the cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional study is the simplest form of the observational study. Single examination of the cross-section of the population at a one point in a time, the result of which can be projected to the whole population, also known as the prevalence study. The most commonly done for the chronic disease, cannot provide information about the natural history of the disease or incidence of the disease. Longitudinal study. The essence of the longitudinal study is repeated observation over the prolonged period of the time by follow-up examination. It helps to study the natural history of the disease and find out the outcome. It also helps identify the risk factor and the incidence rate of occurrence of a new cases in a community, but they are difficult to organize, more time resource consuming. Now the formulation of hypothesis. The sixth step in the descriptive epidemiology include the formulation of hypothesis. A hypothesis is a suppositions arrived from an observation. It further confirmed or rejected by the analytical study. A hypothesis should specify the population, the specific cause being considered, expected outcome, the disease, the dose response relationship, the time response relationship. The example of the formulation of hypothesis is that smoking causes the lung cancer. It is the incomplete hypothesis. While a hypothesis showing that the smoking of the 30 to 40 cigarettes per day causing lung cancer in a 10% of a smoker after 20 years of exposure, this is the complete hypothesis. The uses of it provide data on magnitude of the disease load in a community in terms of mortality, morbidity, rates and ratio. Provide clue to the disease etiology and help in the formulation of hypothesis. Provide background for the planning, organizing and evaluating preventive and curative services. Contribute to the research by describing the variation in the disease occurrence in terms of time, place and person. Thank you.